All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation? We are back with another MLB Quick Hit video for today, August 5th. And this is brought to you by our fine partners over at drafters.com. Head on over to Drafters and enter the code SHIPIT to get a 100% bonus up to $100. We do a draft every week here live with Marley and Tidal, and we were in there this week, and it was a great draft we had. So get over there and get in their best ball, $20 entry, $300K up top, or they have some $3 entries as well. Man, it was an amazing night last night in those MLB streets for the SHIPIT Nation family. I saw screenshots galore left and right, people turning a little winnings or little entries into a lot of winnings. So congratulations to all you out there. We have it all here. We have the tools. We have the cores. We have the projections, proprietary information. So it's great stuff. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And we're crushing it over here in those baseball streets. Well, let's get right into it today. And before we do, make sure you're hitting that like, hit that subscribe button. We're pushing hard for this NFL season to get over 300 or 3,000 subscribers before this NFL season. It's going to be a great season for us over here. Hoop, Title, Tambo, myself, Nades, G-Rising, Marley. I mean, it's a great crew over here, and we're only going to get better and stronger. Let's head on over to DraftKings and FanDuel today. It's an 8-game slate, and let's get into it with our favorite pitchers that we want to talk about. And, man, I was looking this morning, doing my research this morning, and it's a rough slate out there. Not a lot of great pitchers, not a lot of great hitters either, which we'll touch on here in a minute. But let's talk about my number one pitcher on the slate. It's going to be Corbin Burnes facing these Pittsburgh Pirates. And Corbin has been doing good lately, been doing very well lately. He's at home, gets to face this Pirates lineup. Corbin striking out over 37% of left-handed hitters over the last 30 days. Four projected in the lineup, striking out 26% of right-handed hitters. So Corbin Burnes is my SP1 on this slate. Number 2 for me, and this is going to be a little bit of a hot take, but it's going to be Blake Snell taking on these Los Angeles Dodgers. And man, Cy Snell has been dynamite this year for daily fantasy purposes. And I know a lot of people don't want to pick on these Dodgers, rightfully so. They got some amazing bats, but get them away from Dodger Stadium, get them into Petco Park, get Blake Snell striking out 28% of right-handed hitters, 47% of left-handed hitters. So, Muncy, Freeman are lefties. So I like my chances with Blake Snell. I'm seeing him coming in sub 10% owned on FanDuel. And if he's doing that, then I'm going to really fire him up as a direct pivot off of Corbin Burnes. I'll take that in a GPP all day with his upside. I love his upside. I think he's got, 10K upside against this team. Yu Darvish held these same Dodgers team in check last night, limiting them to 2 runs over 7 innings pitched. I understand the Dodgers tacked on 8 after that, but that was against the bullpen. So I think Snell can come in here and really put up a good performance against these Dodgers and be alone. My number 3 pitcher of the day is going to be Kyle Gibson. And normally I want to pick on Kyle Gibson, but Kyle Gibson's been throwing very well and gets to face this Mets team, who I think has quit on the season. They've just got swept by the Royals. They got dominated last night. Dean Kramer threw a gem against them for the most part. And now I get Kyle Gibson, who has looked pretty good his last 3 starts. So he's got 37, 31, and 40 points in his last 3 starts. So if I can get that against this Mets team, I'll take it. So Kyle Gibson's going to be my number 3 pitcher. If I had to go to a 4th, I would look at Steven Matz. Steven Matz has looked very well over the last month of his season. We always like to pick on this Colorado team when they get out of Coors Field. So Steven Matz would be my number 4 pitcher. So just to recap, Corbin Burnes, number 1 for me, Blake Snell, number 2, Kyle Gibson, number 3, and then Steven Matz would be number 4. Now let's head over into the top stacks, our favorite stacks of the day. And I don't love pitching, so you would think that I have a lot of hitters that I like, and it's just not the case today. This is not a good hitting slate, in my opinion, on this main slate. But my number 1 stack is going to be these St. Louis Cardinals. I'm gonna pick on this Rockies team and this pitching staff and this bullpen facing Ty Block tonight. And generally, I don't like picking on bullpen games, but Ty Block threw 5 innings last time out, so hopefully he can go 5 innings again today. And I really like these Cardinals to tee off on him. Nolan Gorman, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Lars Nootbaar. Ty Block doesn't really strike out left-handed hitters. He is a lefty, so lefty on lefty. But he doesn't have overpowering stuff, striking out under 15% of left-handed hitters over the last 30 days. So I'm going to pick on Ty Block in this Rockies bullpen. So give me the Cardinals as my number 1 offense on the day. Number 2, it's going to be those same Baltimore Orioles to give my guy Kyle Gibson some run support. Facing Tyler McGill, throwing for the first time in the bigs in over a month. They faced a guy last night who hadn't thrown in the bigs in over a month as well. The Mets threw 6 relievers last night. The bullpen is taxed. I don't expect too many pitches from McGill in his first start in over a month. Then I get a tired Mets bullpen. McGill historically has struggled with left-handed hitters, specifically speaking, left-handed power. So I really like this Orioles lineup. Get all the lefties in there. I think it's going to be a great night for the Orioles. They're my number 2 stack, really pushing to be number 1. The third stack I want to talk about are the Guardians. And the Guardians, what I'm seeing, are projected to be the highest owned stack. And historically, I don't really love the Guardians as a stack in general. I really don't like a chalky Guardian stack. So for me in a GPP, I think it's an easy fade on this Guardians. I think if you're playing cash games, I think you have to start there with the Guardians. But to me, it's an easy pivot off the Guardians in a GPP. But they are facing Michael Kopech, who we don't have any faith in. Lefties really crush Kopech. So if you wanted to play the Guardians, I don't blame you. But for me, chalky Guardians, I'm out on that. So just to recap, my top 3 stacks on the night: Cardinals, Orioles, Guardians, and then I do want to touch on my low-owned stack, and it's it's gross as well, and it's the Chicago White Sox. I'm a known hater of these White Sox. I think they've quit as well, but they're facing Noah Syndergaard, and Noah Syndergaard is just as bad as this White Sox offense. So I think this White Sox offense comes in low-owned. I think on DK it's more of a mini. We want to focus on lefties. We want to focus on guys that can steal bases as well. Noah Syndergaard gives up stolen bases left and right. So if you think anybody's going to steal bases for these White Sox, left-handed power, fire them up. I think a low-owned stack against Noah Syndergaard might not be the worst thing tonight. Let's move into our top hitters and who we're going to be focusing on tonight. We'll start with my guy, Nolan Gorman. He's been hot lately. Yes, he has been very hot. Hit 2 bombs last night in that game last night. Lefty, should be lower owned. Ty Block, not going to be in there too long. We don't think no more than 5 innings, but I think Nolan Gorman has been hitting the ball very well. I think I like him again tonight as my number 1 hitter for these Cardinals. Next, let's touch on Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson, slated to be in the 2-hole, has been, batting 3, 4, and 5, mainly 5 over the last couple of days. But I like him up there towards top of the lineup as opposed to the bottom of the lineup. So Gunnar Henderson, left-handed power, lefty versus Tyler McGill, gets to face this bullpen who's taxed. They threw 6 of them last night. So I really love these lefties tonight against Tyler McGill and this Mets bullpen who has quit on the season, trading all the way their good pitchers, trading away a lot of their hitters. Only Alonso and Lindor, but they're not going to be pitching. I hope they do pitch tonight, but they probably won't. But if they did, that would be good for the Orioles. Number 3 is going to be Jose Ramirez. I don't love the full stack on this Guardians, but Kopech has been getting beat up all season long by these lefties, and I think Jose Ramirez could take advantage of that tonight. He's always got potential to go double dong. So give me Jose Ramirez as a one-off only for me. But if you are playing cash, I think the Guardians do make sense. But in the GPP, it's an easy fade. But let's focus in on Jose Ramirez. And lastly, I want to talk about one player from those White Sox, and that's Yoan Moncada. Projected to bat in the 2-hole today. If he does do that, I really like him. He's been batting in the 5-hole, but if they bump him up to the 2, he's got a little bit of power, not much as he used to. Hopefully he can steal the base, turn back the clock, Yoan Moncada night, and get 2 or 3 stolen bases, hit a home run, get 30 FanDuel points, and we'll be well on our way with Yoan Moncada. So just to recap, my 4 favorite hitters from these stacks: Nolan Gorman, Gunnar Henderson, Jose Ramirez, Yoan Moncada. That'll do it for me on your way out, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Tune in tomorrow. We'll have another quick hit video as opposed to a morning show on Sundays. But for Hamwich 8, for ShipItNation.com, I'll see you at the top of the leaderboards. And don't forget, let's ship it.